Hello. Today we'll be talking about Moaning Pines, which is a work for solo piano that comes from the Southland by Henry Thacker Burleigh. Henry, or Harry as he liked to be called, Burleigh lived from 1866 to 1949. He was a very talented composer who was the first African-American composer to receive recognition for his concert songs and spirituals. He brought the musical traditions of African-American slavery onto the concert stage, and he also played a significant role in the development of American art songs. He also introduced Dvorak to African-American spirituals, and he wrote works for choral settings as well as violin and piano. And we are going to look at one of those works for piano today, titled From the Southland. This was Burleigh's only solo work for solo piano, and on the McGraw scale, it would most likely sit at around a level 7. It features 6 movements titled Through Moaning Pines, The Frolic, In the Cool Moonlight, A Jubilee, On Bended Knees, and A New Hiding Place. Each piece sets a poem written by his wife, Louise Burleigh, and the poems were originally printed as epigrams along with the music. The movement that we are going to be talking about today is titled Through Moaning Pines, which was set to this poem by his wife. Along the desolate roads we pass, through lonely pines and withered grass. The wind moans in the branches tall, and a heavy sadness broods over all. So these poems help to give an idea of the character that Burleigh was hoping to set with each of the pieces, and the words really do a lot. It's 2 types of art that really coincide together. So here's how the first page of the piece looks of Through Moaning Pines, and some of the pedagogical challenges that we can observe are first that of expression. We see that this is not a lighthearted piece that a student can just learn and not put much heart into it or not put much thought into it. It does require a rather mature and thoughtful approach, as this tune and the whole piece comes from a place of deep moaning and a sense of deep longing and sorrow. So we want to make sure the student really understands the character of the piece. So, connecting it with something deep in their lives, or just, talking through the different imagery and mood that they want to set through their playing can help set them up for success as far as the expression of the piece goes. We also can see that there are many accidentals and some sounds that perhaps are more blues based and that the student might not be used to. So listening to and singing the melody will help with this. And another challenge can be the balancing of the right hand and the left hand. So we can see that the right hand has this rich, deep, sorrowful melody that's singing on top of being accompanied by the left hand. And so we really want the student to use arm weight and really just sing this right hand melody and let each of those tones just come from the heart. And we want the left hand to accompany and not be competing with this, but just to support it. So we want to have a more surfacey touch with the left hand. And so sometimes practicing triple forte in the right hand and triple piano in the left hand can help to get the basic idea of balancing if the student is struggling with that. We also have the concept of different voices, so not only the right hand and left hand, but also voices within those hands. So sometimes we have up to 4 voices at once. And a good way to talk about this with a student is to compare it to the voices in a choir, so soprano, alto, tenor, bass. And you can just talk about the different roles that these have, and just to think about them as having those individual roles within the piece, but they all support each other and come together. So a good way to practice these different parts is to practice them alone, and then to practice them in different combinations to just really understand their role in the music. Here's the second and the last page of the piece. And you can see we have more sharps and syncopation, that come in to the piece. So speaking of syncopation, that can be an issue. And so the student could do a variety of things, but one of those includes tapping the syncopated voice while playing the melody. And they could also tap or ghost play rather with their fingers and count out loud to not worry about the notes while they're trying to figure out the rhythm. And also just, again, like listening and really getting into the mood of the piece and feeling the groove, so to speak, will help with this as well. We also have the issue of large intervals. Sometimes these intervals span to a major tenth, as you can see in the green circles that I put in the music. So rolling the chords may definitely be necessary and is actually instructed to do in the second one. But you can see in the first one, the student may have to roll the chord if their hand doesn't span to a tenth. However, when they roll it, we want to make sure that they aren't interfering with the character of the piece that they are trying to portray. And we don't want to do a very quick roll, and we don't want it to be uneven. So we want to make sure the student takes their time to roll the chord and is calmly pivoting their wrist as they do it. I hope you enjoy listening to Through Moaning Pines.